and on YouTube. So if you're watching me on Instagram right now, for the better experience, right? For the so that you can see the presentation and all of that stuff, you may want to jump over to YouTube, right? Because we're going to be talking about how elements of manhood, be it discipline, be it, I'm basically going to tell you why you've been feeling stuck in your weight loss journey, and not just in your weight loss journey. You probably feel stuck in multiple areas of your life, because I've never met a man who struggled with weight that didn't also have issues in his relationship, that also didn't deal with issues with his finances. And I'm going to help you get to the bottom of that today, right? It's important to understand that how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're struggling, if you have not been able to keep promises to yourself with your health, with your fitness routine, I'm pretty sure that there are areas of your life that are deteriorating because of your lack of trust for yourself. So we're going to talk about that today. I want to give folks a few more minutes to pop on. In the meantime, if you have any questions, let's put them in the chat. Let me see if I can get a chat going. Hold on. Let me see. I can't see the chat right now, but where are you guys from? Let me see. I'm looking at the chat right now on Instagram. Where are you guys from? Where are you tuning in from? Super curious. And also on YouTube, let's get the hearts going. The more likes we got, the more people get notified for the live stream, because we're about to go in. This is going to be some good stuff tonight. So I appreciate y'all. We got Ohio in the building. We got Baltimore in the building. Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's what's up. NYC is in the building. What's up, Miss Phyllis? Okay. Let me check in with YouTube. Let me see what we got. All right. Are we live on YouTube? Let's double check. Nebraska is in the building. That's a state I've never been to. Let's make sure we're live on Instagram. On YouTube. Live stream. Boom. I think we should be straight. All right. Let me check in with my team real quick. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? I'm going to pop back on to Instagram in a second, y'all. Give me a second. Be right back. I want to make sure I'm actually live. Okay, great. I just got confirmation that we're live. I didn't know if we were actually live. All right, so we're good. Let me make sure that this is, all right, cool. I'm going to jump back on Instagram. All right. All right. So I got this pulled up, right? I want you guys to see this real quick, because this man. This is Robin before the diet turns aside. Let me tell you something about this version of myself. This guy, he had no discipline. He was extremely addicted to comforts. He had no tribe. He had no brotherhood. He had no accountability in his life. He was pretty much being blown in the wind, and he was a slave to his cravings for food, his cravings for comfort, his cravings for sex. He was a slave. Now, my therapist tells me to take it easy on myself, because I always talk shit about how this wasn't the type of human that should be able to call himself a man. In my defense, and if my therapist is watching, thank you. I didn't really have the best examples of manhood. I didn't. I was freestyling. All the men in my life growing up, they weren't good examples. Let me just say that. They weren't good examples of how to be a man. And because of that, I made a lot of mistakes, right? I made a lot of mistakes. And it wasn't until I decided to address, because here's the thing. Yes, I was able to physically transform my body, but the physical transformation happened because I started to think different, right? Our bodies, your body is just an external manifestation of what's going on mentally and emotionally, right? So once I started to think different and I started to educate myself and I started to like do things like study philosophy and I started to, figure out what my values were. Right? Who am I? What are my core values? What do I stand for as a man? Right? Especially as a man with children. And at the time, right, when I was 360 pounds, I had a wife. I had a family, bro. Mind you, I'm in my 20s. Didn't know up from down. I didn't have positive role models in my life. I didn't have tribe. I didn't have brotherhood. I mean, I did, but we were all doing bullshit. You feel me? At the time, I won't get into what we were into, but it wasn't anything productive. And it wasn't until let me share this with you guys. It wasn't until I found a brotherhood. And a big part of what I want to do is to put together a brotherhood for men who are trying to become better leaders, who are trying to become better fathers, who are trying to become better versions of themselves by taking care of their health, by addressing their health. Now, here's the thing about addressing your health and how that helps you become a better leader, a better father, a better husband, is because you start to build trust for yourself. A lot of us are compromised. You don't understand how you deteriorate your confidence in yourself every time you start a weight loss journey and you quit. A little bit of your trust for yourself is deteriorated, right? Every time you make a promise to yourself and you don't keep it, a little bit of your confidence is lost. And if it wasn't for these individuals on the screen, now, if you're watching, if you're tuned in on Instagram, you may want to go over to YouTube because I got a picture of my brothers who I owe so much to. Because every man needs accountability. Every man needs a mirror, right? Someone to reflect back to him in an honest, loving way when they're basically on some bullshit. Let's just be frank with it. I have brothers who, and I just see my brother Light Watkins just pop on. Listen, if I'm on the phone with my brother Light and I'm like, yo, this is what's going on in my life. If he spots, if he hears like a blind spot, right? If he needs to check me on something, he will. And I have a cast of men in my life who check me when I'm out of alignment with my values. Right. And I want to talk a little bit more about values in a second. And again, if you're watching on Instagram, please pop over to YouTube because I have a presentation up that we'll be able to get deeper into the conversation with. Right. When it comes to manhood and how it relates to your physique, how it relates to your health, it all ties in. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. This is something that I swear by. I need to get that shit tattooed. How you do anything is how you do everything. And this may be controversial. I'm gonna say it though. I truly believe you cannot be successful if you're not healthy and if you're not in a body that you enjoy. Let me say that. Right? If you're not in a body that you enjoy, of course, there are exceptions, right? There are certain people who have physical restrictions. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about able-bodied people with decent health, right? Who have the ability to exercise and eat healthy. They don't have any metabolic issues. And I'm talking about people who are just lazy. You cannot be successful and fat. That's my opinion. When I was fat, and this is not me, listen, call it fat shaming all you want. I don't care. I'm not fat shaming. Anybody who tells me that they are fat and happy and they feel successful, I'm calling cap. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true, because especially as a man, if you don't have discipline, if you don't live by a strict code where you live through your values, right? And again, I just said we're going to get into the values. Let's get into that real quick. Again, if you're watching on Instagram, please pop over to YouTube. We're going to talk a little bit about these particular pillars of manhood: discipline, integrity, work ethic. And now I'm not here to preach to you guys. I want you to understand that this stuff all relates to your physique, and we're going to get to exactly how. Right? All of this stuff relates to your physique, your discipline, integrity, your work ethic, resilience, emotional strength and vulnerability, leadership and legacy. These are the pillars of manhood, in my opinion, right? When I think about manhood, these are the things that I think about. And this version of myself, let's go back. This version of myself, he didn't live by those values. He didn't live by these principles. He didn't have access to a brotherhood. He didn't have anybody keeping him accountable. He didn't have goals written down. He didn't have structure. He didn't have systems. If you're watching on Instagram, I have a photo of Fat Bricks on the screen. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. Pop over to YouTube if you want the full experience. But this dude right here, he was lost. And so I have two things going on right now. My We Are God's group coaching program is probably the thing that I'm most excited about in my life, because I am able to provide people with tribe, with community, with a place to deposit, especially as men, man. We carry so much shit that we feel like we need to carry by ourselves. A lot of us don't even have a single person that we can be vulnerable with, that we can share some of the fucking things that we're struggling with. It's so important to have that. Now, here's the thing. If you're in a place where you feel stuck, if you feel like you've been on this weight loss journey, off and on for years, and you keep hitting the same roadblocks, and you're starting to feel hopeless, it may be time for you to do something drastic. Let me make sure this thing's focused. It may be time for you to do something drastic. And for those who identify with feeling stuck, and you don't have the accountability that you need, you feel confused about the process, you're like, I don't know how to develop discipline. I don't know how to develop emotional resiliency. If you know that you want to be better, and you've been trying to be better over the last few years, but you keep feeling like you're spinning tires in the mud, then I want you to join my challenge. I'm doing a challenge, right? And the reason why I'm doing this challenge is because I know that 6 weeks is enough time to create a drastic transformation in the life of someone who is ready to commit. It's called the Savage 6-Week Challenge. The reason why, again, I'm doing this is to provide brotherhood, is to provide accountability, is to provide support and guidance. I'm helping you with every step of the way. I'm not holding your fucking hand, though. I'm not holding your hand. I'm not here to lie to you about this process. It's going to be work. I'm here to give you the tools and give you the community and give you the structure. And that's why it's important for you to feel sick and tired. You have had to have reached your breaking point in order for this opportunity to even be appealing to you. I'm going to have my team put the link in the chat on Instagram. And if you're watching on, I'm going to have my team put the link in the chat on YouTube. And if you're watching on Instagram and you want more information, just shoot me a DM with the number 6, and I'll shoot you everything as soon as we get off. But it's so important. And let's go back to this. Now, discipline, right? Discipline used to be a word that I associated with punishment. When I used to hear the word discipline, it would activate my inner rebel. Like, I didn't want nothing to do with fucking discipline. I wanted to be able to do whatever I wanted to do. But really, discipline is the opposite. Discipline is freedom, especially for a man. Your family, your wife, your partner, your kids, they need you to be disciplined, because when you're disciplined, they feel safe. Hold on. Matter of fact, because I prepared. Discipline, this is my definition, right? This is how I define discipline. Discipline is about choosing what you want most over what you want right now. Think about if you gave in to every whim, every craving, every desire. Think about what you're sacrificing, right? Because most of the time, right? And I want you guys to visualize this right now. Think about a long-term goal and think about a right now craving. Most of the time, they're in opposition. Example, you may want to lose 50 pounds, but right now you may want ice cream. You may want to save and invest in a multi-unit property, but right now you want Jordans. What you want most and what you want now often conflicts. And discipline is having the ability to choose what you want most over what you want now. And in my opinion, discipline is the cornerstone of manhood. Me personally, if you're not disciplined, if you don't attach discipline to your identity, and that's a choice. Here's the thing. Discipline is a muscle. It's a muscle. It's a muscle that takes time to develop. And what you can do right now, even though you can't automatically develop this, ironclad discipline right now, but what you can do is decide to attach discipline to your identity. You can do that shit right now. And oftentimes it takes you fucking suffering. If you've been suffering, if your relationship sucks, your wife probably doesn't even fucking respect you. You know why? Because you don't respect yourself. Your kids probably don't even like you. You know why? Because you don't like yourself. And you don't even have energy to play with them when you come home from work. Having discipline in your diet, having discipline with your workout routine, it makes you a better father, because you then have the energy to play with your kids. You then have the emotional fortitude and the energy to give attention to your wife. Discipline allows you to have the financial means to create legacy, which is another one of let's skip right over to it right now, leadership and legacy. This has to be bigger than you. And I'm teaching you guys how a 6-week lock-in can change your life. When you have the support of a coach, a team of coaches, when you have the support of a community of like-minded people. I know men, not only they try to talk to their women about some of the shit that they're dealing with. No, bro. Yes, to an extent you should be able to, but you don't want to burden your woman with all of the shit you're dealing with. I'll tell my girl, I'm having a bad day. But I'm not going to get into the fucking intricate details about how scared I am that I just made this crazy ass investment and I don't know if I'm going to be able to fucking pay my bills next month. I'm never going to tell that shit to my girl, but I will tell that shit to my brothers. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway, I digress. Leadership and legacy. I think every man should have an idea in his head of how he want to be remembered when he leaves here. If that's not on your radar right now, if you're not thinking about, listen, I think about my fucking funeral. I think about what I want to be said about me when I'm gone. And that shit guides my decision making right now. And I've also, and every man watching this right now should own his role as a leader. Even if you're just leading your little brother, even if you're just leading the people in your household or the people on your street, every man should own the role of a leader, because it guides you, because your life becomes more than just about you. When your life is just about you, and you're not worried about the impact that you could possibly be making on someone who's looking at you, you make very different choices. You don't show up for yourself. When you take on the role as a leader, right, and you think about legacy, you make different choices because you're now thinking about how your choices affect other people's lives. Now, especially men who are, you got to understand, your kids are watching you. Your wife is watching you. That little boy that live up the street, your next door neighbor, he's watching you. And when you can, listen, I think about that, and hold on, I'm skipping around a little bit. You got to excuse me because I have ADHD. But when you think about integrity, right? And I define integrity as what you do when no one is watching. It's those actions and choices made in private that ultimately shapes the outcomes and the results in your life. I'm going to say that again. The actions and choices that you make when nobody's fucking watching, that ultimately shapes the outcomes and the results in your life. The first place it shows is in your physique. You can't hide from it. Your physique, your body, is the external manifestation of what you do when nobody's looking. Most of us. Right? What does your body say about you? What does your physique say about you as a man? Does your physique make your woman feel safe? I use this example all the time. If somebody was to snatch your wife's purse, or if you're playing, if you bring your kid to the playground and somebody snatches your 4-year-old kid and runs away, can you chase them for 3 blocks? Can you? And this is why when you have body image issues as men, I've met so many men who have body image issues. You fucking should have body image issues, bro. You should feel depressed about the fact that you are rocking this dad bod that people are trying to make cool. That shit is not cool, bro. It's not cool for you to have a big ass belly. It's not cool for you not to be able to run 3 blocks without dying. If somebody were to snatch your kid, what the fuck you gonna do? If somebody was to try to beat your son up, what are you gonna do? If somebody was to snatch your wife's purse, what are you gonna do? That's because you are out of alignment on a nature level. You can't even protect your family. And there's no way you should feel okay with that. Again, let me take this off the screen real quick. I'm gonna full screen it real quick on YouTube. A 6-week lock-in can change everything. I've seen it happen over and over again. I've been coaching folks for 10 years. When you put yourself in an environment where you have access to coaches, when you have access to a community, where you all of a sudden have accountability and you have someone giving you all the tools, all the resources, and you just got to do your part, that shit can change your life. It can change the dynamic that you have between you and your wife. It can change, your kids can start looking up to you because they'll see the actions. They'll see the differences in you. They'll feel it. Because when you lock in, right, you lock in on a routine, right? You put together a routine. If you feel out of sorts right now, if your life feels out of control, right? If you feel stuck, what you need, the first thing you need to do is have a plan. What is your plan? I want to help you create a plan. I want to give you the accountability. I want to give you the structure that you need to make a 6-week transformation. The Savage 6-week transformation, and this is not for everybody. This is for men who identify as leaders, who want to be good examples for their families, who want to be good example for the people in their communities, who want to be leaders at work. That's who I'm talking to. If you're not a leader, if you don't consider yourself a high performer, if you don't aspire to leave a fucking mark on this planet, then this message is not for you. This message is not for you. I see so many dudes who are successful at work, but their marriage sucks, right? Or their kids don't even like them. You're not successful, bro. That's not success. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you don't feel satisfied, if you're living life in a body that you hate, you're not experiencing what this life shit is supposed to be like. If you're living life in a body that is not able, like if you can't do shit, if it hurts for you to pick up a pen when you drop the shit, that shit is not cool, bro. It shouldn't be that way. Listen, if you're under 80 years old, you're not supposed to feel that way. If you're on vacation and you can't fucking walk and experience things, you're not doing this life shit right. If you need 3 goddamn naps a day, you're not doing this shit right. Lock in. It's time to lock in. You're experiencing life on a level that is depriving you of what the fuck you're really supposed to be experiencing. And I'm telling you, 6 weeks of lock-in can change everything. Most of us, let me speak for myself. I was a lone wolf, right? Meaning, anytime I was dealing with emotional issues, anytime I was struggling in my marriage, anytime I was, I had any sort of stressful thing pulling me down, I would always internalize it. And the way that I escaped from that shit was food. Because I did not have a coach. I didn't have a community. I didn't have a tribe to talk about these heavy things that I'm carrying. You need a brotherhood. You need a group of men. Men need men. Listen, we put way too much shit on our woman. You can't be doing that shit, bro. You're supposed to be her source of security. You're supposed to make her feel, you know how you make her feel? Nothing makes a woman feel more safe than a disciplined man. Do we have women in the chat? Am I lying, women? I know we got some women in the chat. Nothing makes a woman feel more safe than a disciplined man. And discipline, you're not born with discipline. I wasn't fucking born with discipline. My fat ass was the least disciplined person you would ever meet. You can develop discipline. And let me put back the picture of my brothers. They keep me accountable. Hold on, let me share the screen. If you're watching on Instagram, hop over to YouTube. These dudes right here. Amongst others, right? This is not even my entire tribe. I got a gang of dudes who will check me. Who I tell my goals to. I tell them my goals and they check on me. Yo, bro, I thought you said you were going to do this quarter. What happened? What's up? Do you have that in your life? Do you have someone in your life that's going to check you, that's going to keep you accountable to your goals, that's going to check you when you are not taking care of yourself, when you are showing up compromised? Here's the thing. If you are compromised within yourself, you're half of the husband that you could be. You're half of the father that you can be, because you don't even have trust and confidence. You don't trust yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you don't feel good in your body, you are compromised as a man. Get support. Join the challenge. I'm only choosing 15 men. I'm only choosing 15 men because I want the people involved to be like locked in. Because selfishly, I want to be a part of some success stories. So I don't want any poo-putt. That's why I'm telling you guys, this is for leaders. This is for people. These are for men who identify as high performers, who aspire to leave a mark on this world when they're gone. If that's not you, it's okay. This opportunity is not for you. It's not. But if you identify that there's another gear for you to tap into, right? I'm doing okay, but I know if I locked in, I can take shit to the next level. If you identify with that, then this challenge is for you. The Savage 6-Week Challenge. It starts October the 17th. Right now it's the early special. Right now, this is the first publicly, at least live-wise, that I'm even talking about this challenge. And it's right now is the first time anybody can join this challenge. So take advantage of it. I know if this message is resonating with you, I already know what type of dude you are. Because if you feel scared and you're like, no, this isn't for me, Bricks is probably scamming people. If that's your weakness talking to you. And if that's the voice in your head, if that's what the voice in your head is telling you, then I don't want you to be a part of this challenge anyway. Listen, anybody that knows me, and I don't know if I have any of my We Are Gods group coaching clients in the chat anywhere, but if anybody knows how we do, the culture that we create here, Kimmy and I, Briggs, Nikayla, my team, we hold you accountable. We give you all the tools. We give you the support. You just got to execute. That's it. You just have to execute. And that's why I want doers a part of this challenge. I want doers a part of this challenge. Let me go back, right? Because I want to get through a few other things, right? Now, emotional strength and vulnerability, right? Emotional strength is the courage to face and manage your feelings. I don't know if you're like me and you were taught that you weren't allowed to feel your feelings, or talking about your feelings wasn't manly. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And on the Zoom calls in the challenge, I'm going to invite you guys to talk about your feelings. You need to understand what's going on if you ever want to overcome the challenges that are buried in your subconscious. A lot of the shit that you struggle with is some shit that's happening below the surface. And the only way to overcome this shit is to explore it, right? I'm a big advocate for journaling. I'm a big advocate for vulnerable conversations in safe environments. Right? I seen someone in the chat say, yeah, you can't share your goals with everybody. No, but you got to make sure you have the right type of cast in your life. If you have friends, let me say this, because that shit pisses me off. If you have friends who you say you can't share your goals with, there's no fucking way that person should be your friend. Period. There's no way that person should be your friend. And it's time for you to build another tribe. It's time for you to find new friends. If you feel like you can't share your friend, if your friends allow you not to stay focused, right? If they see you slipping and they don't check you on it, you need new friends. If you have friends who you tell your goals to and they don't ask you, hey, what's up? Share the progress. You need new friends. You need a new tribe. Because a big part of friendship amongst men is accountability. I don't want a friend that's going to let me be my lower self. That's going to let me be a slacker. I have no room in my life for that. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. And I know sometimes, right, when you have that black sheep mentality, right? When you're the one in your family or in your circle who's trying to be better, right? And you don't always have people in your life who are on the same wavelength mentally. That's not always the case. I understand that. But I want you to know that this world is big, and these things, right? These computers, these smartphones, it bridges the gap. You now have access to other people. I want to say 70% of my relationships, my friendships were built through connections that I made online. My tribe, I built online. My closest friends, Juan, Willie, Light, Bertunde, Preston, Caduce. I met all these dudes online. In the culture, in my We Are God's group coaching program, the culture that's going to be the type of people, when I say the culture, I'm talking about the type of men that are involved in all of my program are always men that these are not just customers. These are men who I am proud to associate myself with, right? Because they are the type of men who invest in themselves. They are the type of men who are pursuing growth, not just about weight loss. They're pursuing mental and emotional evolution. They're trying to be the best versions of themselves. And these are the type of men who my opportunities, my programs attract. So again, if this sounds like something that you want to be a part of, right? If this sounds appealing, right, to you, that's speaking a lot about you. Because trust me, there are people who tuned in, hear me talk, and they're like, oh no, this nigga Breaks doing this preaching shit, and they click off. If you're still here, that this means that this may be the wake-up call that you've been looking for. This may be the opportunity that God is sending you. And I don't know your religious belief, but if you're still watching this right now and you're feeling curious, this may be an opportunity for you to push past the discomfort and really lock in for 6 weeks and create a transfer. Listen, I'm telling you, 6 weeks is enough to transform your life. Obviously, you're not going to lose 100 pounds, right? Obviously, but the foundation for lifelong transformation can happen in 6 weeks. You can build lifelong relationships. You can find tribe with people who will be with you for the duration of your journey in this challenge. Because we only attract top tier men. We only attract men who want to be leaders, who want to be effective leaders of their family, effective leaders of themselves, who are always striving for growth and evolution. I promise you, every man involved in this challenge is going to be top tier, cut from the same cloth type of dudes. Take advantage. The link, I'm pretty sure, is in the description to the YouTube video. The link, I'm pretty sure, is in the chat somewhere. Again, I want to kind of go over this again, guys, before I wrap this up. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Instagram, go over to YouTube. Even if you're watching the replay, I'm pretty sure the replay is live on my YouTube channel. This is important shit because let me selfishly say, if I can contribute, right? We talk about legacy. If my legacy, if my time here, I can contribute to helping men become better leaders, because that's the issue we have nowadays, man. This fucking world is, I'm not going to go on a rant, but this world needs stronger leaders, especially black men. We need discipline. Your kids deserve a disciplined father. Your wife deserves a disciplined husband. You deserve to live life in a body that you're proud of, in a body that functions well, in a body that doesn't fucking hurt all the time, in a body that isn't always tired. You deserve it. You deserve it. Your kids deserve a disciplined father that at the end of the day, when he comes home, he's not just fucking plopping himself on the couch and watching TV and ignoring them. They deserve a father that's going to have enough energy to play with them at night and read them a book and wrestle with them. They deserve that. You can become that. And don't feel bad. Listen, I'm not trying to beat anybody up or talk shit about people. I've been there. Trust me. I lived 10 years in a body that I fucking hated. And I didn't have energy to play with my kids. Hold on, I'll pull it back up. This body right here. If you're watching on YouTube, on Instagram, pop over to YouTube. I lived a life in this body. And I hated it. I hated every minute of my existence. I had to fake confidence. I had to fake energy. Bro, I hated myself. I shouldn't have hated myself, but I did. Right? And part of the reason why I ended up looking like this is because I hated myself. Because I didn't know the value of caring for my body and really prioritizing my health. I was escaping. I was trying to escape my emotions. I didn't want to feel my feelings. I didn't have anybody to talk to about the shit that I was struggling with. I didn't have anybody teaching me how to be a man. Me personally, I did not. I had to learn all this shit on my own. And now I want to pay it forward. I've learned how fitness and self-care can be the cornerstone of your confidence as a man, can be the cornerstone of your effectiveness as a father, as a husband, as a leader at work. Listen, all of the successful people I know, let me not say all. Let me say this. I don't know a fit person that isn't successful in at least two other areas of his life. I don't. All of the fit people I know are great fathers. They're great leaders at work. The ones I know. I'm not making a blanket statement. I'm not saying that this is true for every fit person. But all the fit people I know, because that's the type of people I attract, are amazing men. Because the discipline that they the discipline that they apply to their health, their self-care routines, their self-care habits, it spills over into other areas of their life. So if you're living in a body that you hate and you feel like there's tension at home between you and your partner, your kids, listen, you want your kids to look at you like a superhero. It's time to lock in, y'all. 6 weeks, again, the Savage 6-Week Challenge is designed to help you get you on the path of becoming a disciplined man. Get you on the path to start thinking about legacy and leadership if you're not already. Because again, how you do anything is how you do everything right now. This is the first time the ability to join the challenge. This is the first time, and we have an early special. If you're joining the challenge from this live right now, you're going to pay about 30 to 40% less than the folks who join later. So don't procrastinate. If you're still watching this again may be the opportunity that you've been waiting for. Don't squander this. All the details are, someone's asking if they're for men. Yes, I'm working with men right now, man. I have to work with men right now because, yeah, that's God's been calling me to help men become better leaders, better fathers, better husbands, and that's what I'm doing. I appreciate your inquiry, though. But click the link. The link is going to be in the description of the YouTube video, and let's get the link. The link is also going to be in my Instagram bio as well. I'm picking 15 men. I'm only taking 15 people because it's a very intimate situation. We're going to be doing Zoom calls. There's going to be this is not just a diet and exercise base. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is not just about diet and exercise. It's not. You got to be ready to do some deep inner work. And we use journaling, we use mindfulness, we use conversations that are uncomfortable. We want to crack you wide open so that you can understand what's happening on beneath the surface, so that you can change your habits. You can improve your relationship with food. But first you got to understand it, right? And you understand it through honest conversations about what's going on mentally and emotionally, right? I give you the structure to implement into your day, the daily habits. I'm going to be text messaging you to remind you about things. I check in on you every single day. This is a 6-week intensive that you will, of course, you're going to transform physically. You're going to lose weight, but it's so much deeper than that. Yes, you will lose weight, but what you will gain is self-assurance. What you will gain is confidence. What you will gain is trust for yourself. What you will gain is brotherhood. And that's what this is really about. Because we all need that. I didn't have it, man. This fat version of myself, I didn't have brotherhood. I didn't have accountability. I didn't have anybody, I guess, making sure that I'm being my best self and checking me when I'm not. I didn't have that. Everybody in my life, during this season of my life, right, when I was 360 pounds, we were all on the same bullshit. We wanted to turn up. We wanted to be irresponsible with our money. We wanted to, be out here, putting our thing in all the women. That shit is not what it's about. It's not. It's not. But anyway, guys, the early special is happening right now. The challenge starts October the 17th. Again, only 15 men. Only 15 men. And I want the right type of people involved in this. So again, if this sounds like something that, do you ever plan on having a gym in Brownsville? You just planted that seed, bro. Let me just say that. Somebody asked me on Instagram if I plan. That's for those of you who don't know, that's the neighborhood I grew up. It's a very underserved community. And you just planted that seed, bro. I appreciate that. But again, guys, if this opportunity to be a part of this challenge and to work with me personally and to be a part of this community sounds appealing, I don't want you to ignore your curiosity. Just at least click the link, find out more information. You get a host of things. I'm doing Zoom calls. I become a part of your life for 6 weeks. You get access to the community. You get access to the resources. I teach you how to create workout programs. I teach you how to set up accountability in your own life. I teach you how to do meal planning and how to fix how to work your calendar so that you have multiple layers of accountability. Guys, don't bless me with the opportunity to be a part of your success story. When I die, and again, I'm talking about myself right now selfishly. When I die, I want people to say, hey, he helped men become kings. Truly. So bless me with the opportunity. It would be the best investment you ever made because I take personal responsibility for your success. So don't squander this opportunity right now. Like I said, it's an extremely discounted rate for the challenge. Click the link in the chat. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a link in the description to the YouTube video and also in my Instagram bio as well. All right. I will talk to you guys again soon. We're going to be doing some more lives. There's going to be more opportunities to hear more about the challenge and to hear more about my philosophies around manhood and why every man should own that leadership role. Every man should be clear on what his core values are, right? If you don't know what your core values are, if you don't know what you stand for, I need you to do that tonight. If you don't have a vision for how you want people to speak at your funeral, I want you to do that tonight. I want you to think about that tonight. If you are unsure about the example that you're setting for the younger people in your life, be it your kids or your nieces and nephews, I want you to think about that tonight. Stop selfishly living your life for just you. All right? It's over. Like that dad bod shit is over. That not being a man of service shit is over. It's time to level up, y'all. It's time to level up. All right, y'all. I'll speak to y'all again soon. Peace.